Don't mind the beard. It's November. Try to bear with me. I told everyone not mind the beard because it's November.
Oh, is that the excuse you today? It's Movember.
It's Movember.
Movember does not excuse pure, unadulterated laziness. What's up, everybody? Welcome to
The fact that I am lazy shouldn't mean anything, though.
Listen, man, this took like a week. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome.
How you doing, guys?
This took like a week. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome.
How you doing, guys?
You're so strange. I'm sorry, guys. Nobody needs to be that close to Mario's face. Welcome, everybody, to the another Buffalo Bills victory post-game show. So goofy.
Yes.
Again, another opportunity to talk about what happened, what went well, what the Bills need to work on, kind of what happened, what went well, what the Bills need to work on, kind of what we've seen. Lots to go over, man. There's a ton of stuff to talk about. So, of course, the live chat is open, so you guys can throw anything you want in the live chat. We'll be happy to get to it. We'll get to it as soon as we can. So, obviously, Bills won by 3. It was a great victory. Miguel Deval, great victory today. I don't see Jalen Ramsey talking now. Was he going at Celeste Albone on the sidelines for the sign that she brought? I think it was Celeste.
I think he was talking to the whole team. I think I saw a tweet out there that said something to the effect of, when a guy who's on a 3-7 team is calling a 3-7 team trash.
Yeah, they weren't 3-7 obviously when he was making all those remarks, but still.
Well, no, today when he was saying you were trash today.
I get it. But he's not. I mean, Ramsey's never been a guy who backs down from anything, so I can't say I'm super surprised by that.
Florida State education.
Oh, that hurts just a little. Those SEC guys, all they do is run fast.
ACC.
ACC? It is ACC. I don't follow. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Okay, goodbye, Jags. John Marlowe. They know we had their number in the playoffs. We knew who thought they were. Pretty good. Very good.
Yeah, who we thought they were.
Well, first of all, before we get into the game today, I just wanted to thank everybody. We hope that you enjoyed Fan Appreciation Week. It was a very daunting task to stay in a car that long with this guy. We went to 6 drive-thrus because he needs to eat. You look at him right now. It's one of those things, but we just hope that we were able to answer your questions, and the questions we didn't get to. Got a lot of new people commenting on some of the threads. Thank you very much for that. So that's going to be so great. When we finally get to those, we'll definitely hit up all your questions eventually on that.
We will jump around a little bit in the comments section. Skippy the Tub Rat, which is still my favorite handle. Thank you so much for that. Alan with the rushing record. Yeah, he did set a franchise rushing record for a quarterback, which is saying an awful lot when you run for more attempts than you completed passes. Like, that wasn't even close, right? Was he 8 for...
That was a college game.
He was 8 for what?
He was 8 for 19, and he had 13 attempts rushing, I believe.
Yeah, so that's... kind of running for his life a little bit. I only saw one designed run play, like one actual QB keeper. That was the QB draw play where he ran it into the end zone.
Yes.
So that was, that was a call. That wasn't a check, and I saw something on Twitter where people were saying Allen checked to QB draw. That's suicide. They would never allow him to do that at this point. He's not even allowed to make protection changes at the line right now, so there's no way he checked to a QB draw. No, it wasn't an RPO or... That's not what it was.
No, they spread him out.
That was a physical call. That was what the play was.
They spread him out 5 wide. And listen, this is what the Jaguars do. I mean, they've had a number of teams this year.
Jaguars. There's a Q in it, buddy. Jaguars.
There's plenty of times that the Jags have played teams that have gone 5 wide. So they may have seen something on tape to that effect where, hey, if we get down in the red zone, if we go 5 wide, we're going to spread them out. Josh can go right up the middle.
Yeah.
So that was one of the very fefew calls today that I actually enjoyed. But you can't have your quarterback running the ball 13 times. He's going to get killed.
Yeah.
He's going to get killed.
Especially on that goal line, on that third down play on the goal line.
Ivory, you got McCoy.
Yeah.
Give the running backs the ball.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a tough call. And see, they put the game call in his hand and he kept it. So again, that's just something that when they go back and watch the tape, he's going to see the mistake there. McCoy had the edge if he had just handed it off, so they'll go back and see the tape. Chuck Woodward, Allen is coming around. He needs to settle down and make more catchable throws sometimes, but I love what I'm seeing. I'm with you there. He did throw Robert Foster almost dead, but the rules in the NFL now are that you can't. Yeah, you can. You can do those things. I still disagree with the defenseless receiver call. I've never liked that. I don't like the penalty that was called on that Foster hit. I'm a Bills fan, don't get me wrong. I just don't really like the rule. And it doesn't, those types of rules don't really benefit the Bills when you attempt 19 passes in a game. You're not taking advantage of the way that the system's set up. So, again, another thing that's a little about the game for me.
Well, I find it confusing that I'm a defenseless receiver. You're a defender on me. I'm a defenseless receiver. Until I catch it, then I can throw my hand in your face mask and push you as far as I want.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Right.
I don't even understand that.
No, I don't.
So
I don't get it either.
That's the thing I don't understand.
Tim Ellington, we need to paint a garbage truck number 17 and park it in front of Jalen Ramsey's driveway.
I think you may be onto something there.
That's a pretty good one. I think
we need to get that trending.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That'd be great. Though what James Parsons said about those penalties, though, oh my God! I mean, damn, killed so many drives. It did affect both teams rather. And you can look at it one of two ways. You can say that's. I mean, we know that the troubles that have been going down in Jacksonville with the team, and that could be just an undisciplined team.
But it's a Doug Marrone coach team. You can see it's a runaway train from a culture standpoint, which I don't think is too far for us to stretch.
But for McDermott, who stresses that, it's a little surprising to see that many penalties.
Well, you know what? I think the Shaq Lawson, Leonard Fournette thing, if that was on the road, I don't know if Shaq. I don't think McDermott responds as positively as he does when they're at home. I think McDermott looks at this and says, listen, this is our turf, this is our house, you defend our players in our house. I don't think he's going to discipline Shaq, but we said after the game that he's not going to. I don't blame him. No. But the fact is that if it was on the road, I have to feel like there might be a little bit of a different feel there. It's up to you guys. You guys tell us whether you think I'm wrong on that or not.
Is this, though, what we've been talking about, is this another case of Shaq Lawson buying in to this franchise?
I think the case could be made there, but we talked about this last week. Shaq Lawson has 2 contract years because of that 5th-year option. He's got to play for his contract this year, and he has to sustain this ability and playing level through next year in order to get that $10 million 5th-year option. So he's got to play for 2 contract years. I think he's got to show them that he's all in, period, the end. And, I think something like that goes a long way as far as, being there to take care of your team. That's effectively what they're doing. Dennis Chapman, previously you guys talked about missed blocking ability of Robert Woods. He's got a way to go, but I'd say put a block on Ramsey today or what, and a way to respond to him with Allen calling him trash. Give me the tub rat. Shaq Lawson stopped Fournette for the whole 4th quarter.
He definitely did. He went nowhere.
Yeah, Chuck Woodward, let's bulk up KB and make him a tight end. Listen, I saw there was a comment in here about he's a couple Popeyes biscuits away. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Interestingly enough, though, if you would have noticed on the last touchdown that the Bills scored. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
You would think that they would run to his side more because he should be a more effective blocker at that
it was
side.
the field. I'm sorry. I don't want to correct myself. It was the field goal. They went 3 wide. Okay. It was Foster. It was Jones, and it was Holmes. He wasn't even in the game.
Right.
What does that tell you? I mean, he had 1 catch for 32 yards. That ended up setting up their first touchdown after the face mask by Ramsey. But that's a guy. Maybe the Bills brass is kind of done with him.
Yeah, perhaps.
He's supposed to be your number 1.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. So, Believers Talk, guys, good game, not a great game. I agree with you there. We're going to get into a lot of the particulars about the offense because I think that's kind of what everybody wants to talk about. Defense played great. There are a couple things about the defense that we're going to get to as well that were very different from the weeks that we've seen. So, again, all stuff that we're going to get to in just a moment. Nathan Long, my, how much a difference 1 year makes. Yeah, I know 2 playoff teams combined 6 wins going into week 12. It's just not exactly what you anticipate.
This is a Bills inter-squad scrimmage with Marone on
I know, right? Chris Stratton, Shaq gets the game ball. Hughes missed that sack because he was trying to pretty it up for the refs. I'm actually I agree with Chris on this one. Yeah, I don't think he was headhunting. He was looking for the ball, so he goes for the swipe. But again, he's backside on the quarterback. He can't grab and drag to the ground. Yeah, because that's going to be a penalty. So first off, here's my issue with that. Since when did Jerry Hughes ever really care about the rules of football? I can't say that he was doing that. I can't say that he was doing it to avoid a personal foul.
I got nowhere to go. I can't even leave.
Yeah, I know. So Hughes went for the strip, right? And I have a feeling the reason he did was because they were inside the 10, right? They were inside the 20. Let me rephrase. I don't remember exactly where they were. They were inside the 20. Yeah, they were inside. I don't remember exactly where they were. They were inside the 20 somewhere. I think if they're on the 30 or the 40, he's looking numbers the whole way. He's going to put his shoulder right to the back of Bortles' numbers, and that's going to be that. The fact that they were so close to the goal line, I think he was looking for the touchdown, right? So I think he was hunting for the ball. Either way, you do have to pay attention with these rules, the way that they're set up. Defensive players cannot drive through quarterbacks the way that they used to, right? You saw it early in the game. Teller was going after Calais Campbell because legs in it was like the first drive.
Yes.
He was diving through the line trying to get Allen's legs through pressure. So again, something that the rules for quarterbacks are just different, and you're going to start seeing it impact the way defenses attack that particular position. Right? That's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
Let's keep going because again, we got lots of comments coming in. So thank you so much. Let's see here.
Thomas Camp, the Bills will run the table and play the Cleveland Browns in the championship game and will win the Super Bowl against the LA Rams.
I can't see that happening. I don't know. Could the Bills run the table? I mean, conceivably they could, right?
The Bills won. We drink more or less when we win.
I guess it depends on how high you want their draft pick to be.
No, that's funny. Thomas, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Joe Smith says he loves Shaq. Tim Ellington, I was seriously scared today. First time with a receiver who could get open as a deep threat, playing to Josh Allen's strengths. I was nervous he wouldn't do well, but stepped up big time. Since when did Isaiah McKenzie become the Bills' #1 receiver? Right? Did Jacksonville just look to shut Zay out? They're like, listen, they play zone coverage, so I don't really.
If you were to look at the collection of Bills wide receivers versus Church, Gibson, Ramsey, and Bouye, I would take the secondary. Why don't you just man them up? I mean, they did run a lot of blitzes, and those times they did run blitzes, they had zone, they had man behind it. So in those instances, that's where Allen was always taking off because no one could get open. I don't know why Jacksonville and Wash the defensive coordinator, didn't do that more often against Allen. I don't know if they were worried about the run. You think a guy like Chris Ivory would want to exact some revenge on this team, and he didn't? What are you laughing at?
Chris Stratton, he goes, the Bills will win just enough to get the 10th pick. Boy, do I hate that 10th pick. Get that thing as far away from me as possible.
Listen. Well, we're going to break from our show right now because I have some very important news to tell everybody about what just happened today.
What?
Okay? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
The Bills stood at 2-7 prior to the Jet game, right?
Yeah.
Okay? They were in line, 3rd overall pick.
Yep.
Okay? They beat the Jets. Okay?
That's a big difference. That's a big swap.
I know. They beat the Jets, and they ended up not going. They went from 3rd to 6th. Okay? Guess what happened with the win today against Jacksonville?
Don't do that to me. Stop it.
They are currently, before the end of all these 4 o'clock games, currently right now, the Buffalo Bills would be selecting 10th in the 2019 draft.
Oh my God, just ripped my heart out of my chest. Okay.
I didn't want to. I looked at it. I was like, you know what? If they keep winning, keep winning. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. John pick is usually not really the pick you want.
No, we went over that with another episode this week, kind of extolling the positives and negatives about picking 10th versus 11th, and there can be a pretty big deal. Chris, I don't care that you were kidding. It doesn't matter. It's true. It's facts, right? John Roberts, Allen balled out. We need to tidy up those fouls. We should have blown them out today. Honestly, and I want to get into a little bit today. This was the first team that we've seen run inside on the Bills all season long. And understand that we know that that's kind of what they do. That's Leonard Fournette's running style, right? Is to pound it inside the tackles. And Fournette going out of that game, he could have run for 100 yards on us today. I mean, absolutely, he could have he could have really hurt us. But it was the first time that we've seen the Bills vulnerable inside. And I think one of the reasons was because you saw Kyle Williams run stunts. You saw a lot of inside gap pressure from the defense that they were giving the middle up. They were just giving it up.
You know what?
And it's because nobody had run inside on the Bills. Nobody had even tried to run inside on the Bills until today.
I will say this was the first time that we saw something to that effect where the team, like the Jags, ran up the middle of the Bills, like you just said. However, I think a lot of people were, I mean, at least a lot of people on social media and everything were kind of downing the defense. They saying, well, what's wrong with this defense? They're out of sorts. What are they doing? Blah, 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 and all sorts of stuff. And I started going, wait, well, hold on a second. They give up 14 points until like a garbage touchdown. So you want to count the garbage touchdown, fine. They give up 21 points in this entire game. If you're going to tell me that my defense is going to give up 7 points every 20 minutes, I'm fine with that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm completely fine with that. They weren't at the level that we expect them to play at, and I know sometimes this year they haven't, achieved that level, and it's tough to be at that level all the time. However, they played a pretty good game today. Obviously, Fournette going out was huge. Absolutely huge. And then they missed the field goal on that ensuing possession, but it was the defense. They're like, okay, all right, well, we gave up a few runs inside. Maybe we got to fix a few things here and there. Edmonds was, kind of getting up in the wash, and so was Milano and a couple other guys. Poyer got caught out of position every once in a while, but I think they're of the mindset on defense, and they're experienced enough to say, okay, we can fix this. We can fix it. Kyle Williams looked like he was 25 years old today.
Yeah, he was a man on a mission today.
Oh my God, he was amazing.
Kyle played absolutely great. I do want to, let's see, so many. Joe Smith, Allen is the next Jim Kelly. I'll tell you what, man, and Miguel Devel points it out, that 75-yard deep pass to Foster was perfect, right? That ball was just perfectly placed. It was the right call against the right coverage. Like, it was a good read. Now, I can't say that Foster was the primary receiver on that call, but Allen got him the ball where it needed to be, and it was perfect.
Can I go now?
That is kind of what we wanted to talk about today is, yes, I'm very happy with the way that the Bills were able to take control of the game, right? It got a little scary there for a little bit, right? So let's call that what it is. However, this offense, even with Allen, is a couple things that I think it's kind of important for you to know. And that's what Mario and I talked about briefly off camera. Mario and I really don't talk much off camera.
I can't stand this guy. I really can't.
However, the reason we do that is because we want to have fresh conversation for you guys, right? So that's why we don't talk football off camera.
Yeah, my memory, like, we'll forget what we talked about. Like, hey, did we talk about it on the broadcast? Or
I have no idea.
Phone, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. So Mario went ahead and did a deep dive into the Bills' performance today on the offensive side of the ball. And there's a lot of really, really important things that I think are kind of a flag for us to pay attention to as fans. So Mario, what do you think?
Yeah, as you know, I'll go over the play itself, and then I'll go over the rest of the game as a whole, because there's a lot of, I've been all over Brian Daboll this year about everything he's done and the lack of success. The Buffalo Bills currently are 32nd, or last, depending on how you look at it, in yards per play, at 4.2 yards per play, which is just atrocious.
Right. Granted, they've had 4 quarterbacks this year, so I mean, when you look at the scope of the offense, you've had 4 quarterbacks. I mean,
they've had 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So that notwithstanding, you're talking about a very deep throw. There were only 2 people in that route. And the
big play to Foster you're talking about.
The big play to Foster. Okay, there's a 2-man route. Jacksonville was in a cover 3, which the coverage broke down because Ramsey jumped the in. I mean, if I could show you guys, as simplistic as I can, there's an in route and there was a post. This is Foster. That was the in route.
Yeah.
Okay. As stupid as that sounds, but if you have a 2-man route, first of all, it limits who you're going to look at for the route.
Right. Yeah.
It max protects for you as well.
Right, and because basically what that does is it still leaves the running back for a pressure relief valve if that's what it comes.
Both of them went to the outsides.
Yeah.
Okay. They saw that Jacksonville was bringing pressure, but there wasn't enough that he couldn't leak out. He leaked out on right. If Allen wanted to dump it off there, he could have.
Yeah.
But 2-man route, but if you saw as the route combination that I had was we had the post and the in, he's not a 2-man route, and the 2 routes are both sides of the field. They're stacked.
Yeah,
so
they're right on top of each other.
He really only has to
read.
read.
Yeah.
First of all, he's reading 1 to 2 outside the in. What that means is that he's reading the corner to the safety. When he saw the corner when he saw the corner jump that route, which was Ramsey, and he saw that post backside, he knew Church wasn't going to keep up with Foster. So
yeah, no way.
The only thing he needed to do, the thing that really impressed me about Allen was that he hung in the pocket.
He knew he needed to wait.
He dropped back, he climbed the ladder into the pocket, and he stayed in there, and he knew he was going to take a shot, but he delivered the ball, and he goes, this is a touchdown, if we get this. Now, spiraling that into what we were wanting to talk about, let me just tell you guys something. I've been very critical of Brian Dable, and I haven't got off that wagon yet. However, teams usually come out and they have scripted plays. First 10, 15, 20 plays. You know, some of them will have more or less, depending on the defense that they're playing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just say, for a safe assumption, they have 15 plays scripted today coming into the game. The Bills were able to move the ball. They were able to be successful in their first 15 plays. That touchdown to Foster was the 14th play that they ran in that game. Did you ever notice that there wasn't any really deep threats after the first 15 plays?
Yeah, I want to point out that the Bills had an extra week, right, in order to develop this game plan. So the first 15 plays need to be on point because you had a whole extra week to break down film and really understand the tendencies and the weaknesses of that defense. So you really have some time to dive in and make sure that everything is on point. So that script needs to be strong, and today it very much was. It very much was.
The first 15 plays I think were brilliant. I just didn't like Allen running as much. I knew some guys weren't open, and he had to scramble and try to make some plays with his legs, which is going to make him a very dynamic quarterback. For about, what do you think, 7, 8 years?
Yeah.
Because then he can't run like that anymore.
Right.
You're just putting yourself at risk. So after that, I'm just going to say, after that, and I even tweeted out, I said, I want to see what his play calling is once he has to adjust. He had a 14-point lead, and then Jacksonville starts to come back, and it's tied 14-14. So now he has to try to readjust and do everything on the sidelines. They ran 14 plays. Those first 14 plays accounted for 162 yards of offense that they had, which is amazing. I mean,
that's great. That's great.
Those numbers are better than Kansas City's. I'll just tell you right now. After that, half being over, he had 11 plays for 36 yards.
Yeah, that's terrible.
There was 0 passing yards after that. Okay, Allen. No quarterback runs called on purpose. He ran 4 times for 20 yards in those plays. What does that mean? It means 2 things. One, you can either say guys aren't getting open downfield, or the scheme that you have, the combinations of routes downfield against this Jacksonville defense is not good.
They didn't work. Yeah,
they didn't work. Or you're getting out schemed by the defensive coordinator on the other side. 2 out of those 3 things are not good.
Right.
Okay? 2 out of those 3 things are not good. So we go to the second half. 28 plays, 131 yards. That puts you roughly around 4.6 yards per play.
Yeah.
Now, we've already said that the Buffalo Bills currently at 4.2 yards per play
are
last.
Yeah, dead last.
That puts you at 30th. If you take that 45-yard run that Allen had.
Oh, yeah.
The 45-yard run that Allen had that was not a designed run. He just saw it. They were playing man, so he just took off. They're at 3.2 yards per play in the second half. Any other team in the league will come back on you on that.
Yeah, you don't even get a first down. If you get your average yards per play, you're not even getting first downs anymore. Yeah.
Long story short, if you take out the script, the first 15 plays of this game, and what they were able to do in that long pass to Foster, when that play to Foster was over, they ran 39 plays for 167 yards, which is a 4.28 yards per play.
So right on schedule.
So what did he do today, other than the script that was so different that this guy deserves another year?
Yeah.
I'm confused at that.
Yeah, Dable,
I'm confused at that.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. That's great. So with that,
I hate doing homework.
Right. With that, I want to get to some comments. We got a lot. We're going to kind of jump around in the comments.
Sorry about that. I had to get that off my chest.
That's okay.
Everybody.
Let's see. John Calvin. Barkley put up 300 yards in half of his games in 2016. That is totally true. John Calvin also mentions he thinks Dable will get fired for the quarterback problems. You know what? Allen did have to run for his life a little bit. I didn't love a lot of the calls, and that's just, I didn't love a lot of the calls. Josh Allen needs a better O-line and wide receivers, 100% agree. But you'll notice who's getting featured in the offense. It's guys like Robert Foster. It's guys like Isaiah McKenzie, both free agents at the end of the season, right?
They want to see what they have.
So they want to see what they have, which is something we've been begging for a while. The O-line, again, is a little bit of a problem. You saw Miller leave. You saw Groy step in. Mills, Miller, and Groy are all free agents at the end of the season. So, again, you have another hole on the right side of your line. That whole right side of your line is going to be a free agent at the end of next season.
Interesting point to note as well. I mean, because we're talking about the offensive line. Miller going out of the game. I thought he was going out. It's kind of coincidental that he went out after his penalty.
Yeah, it is coincidental.
And then Groy was in there for the rest of the game. So Groy, we know, we've talked about it before, has had that versatility. He can play center, he can play guard. He's probably one of those guys who wasn't recruited by this regime but might stay just because of his versatility and his experience in the offense. That may be one of those guys that just hangs around, but I don't know. If I had to guess, Mills and Miller may not be here next year.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm of that mindset too. James Sanders, Doug Marone can kiss my you-know-what. For the record, there's 4 million reasons why he can kiss my you-know-what.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, remember, he got $4 million for quitting.
To walk out.
To quit. I think all of us would quit our job for $4 million. Don't you?
How much?
You quit your job?
How much did Vontae Davis get for quitting? You're welcome.
Yeah, that happened. Allen, I will say that Allen was decisive in the pocket today, and that was brought up by who said it? Something about ball. Matt Mallory. Allen got the ball out quickly today, and that was huge. He's athletic, a big body, big arm, great for cold weather. I think he was a good pick. You know, I think the more as we watch, and the more we watch how similar Cam Newton and Josh Allen really are, right? So again, we talk about the Carolina comparison. It always seems to be there. And again, you're seeing another similarity. Cam Newton wasn't exactly asked to go to football all that often early in his career either.
No,
but Allen did look.
He got abused too.
He did. But Allen looked dangerous today at times, and that was great to see. Very, very happy to see that. Just kind of one of those things where, when it comes to getting rid of the football, very important to make your decisions quick, and Allen was able to do that. Let's see what else we got. James Parsons. Josh has another 5 completions and 100 more yards, if not for penalties and drops. That's actually a great point. How many more yards would Allen have had there not been penalties? It's a little tough to go back. We'd actually have to go back and rewatch the game because it's not, they don't tell us how much it is.
I remember the 2 specific third down plays where he converted both of them.
Yeah.
And then they called plays on consecutive plays. Guys, our feed is kind of goofy right now. We're not really seeing it. If you guys aren't seeing it, we apologize, but hopefully you guys can still hear us.
Yeah. Tim Ellington says, I'm not counting Buffalo out of the playoffs yet. I mean, they have the opportunity, I suppose, right? It's possible that they could still make the playoffs. We'll see what happens.
It's very tough, but I mean, the fact that in 2 weeks you dropped your draft position from 3 to 10 is kind of scary.
Yeah,
it is kind of scary. So one of those things you do, it's kind of like you're worried. You're worried. I don't know. It's like one thing that helps you. It's like if you're playing fantasy and you have your running back is playing against your starting defense.
Yeah.
The better he does, the worse your defense does.
Yeah.
So you're worried about, okay, we want Allen to do well, we want him to progress, we want him to grow, yet we want to keep our draft status low so we can get more weapons for this guy.
Sure. Well, the Bills have plenty of picks. Now the question becomes, because the Bills have so much cap room, are the Bills going to be able to take those 5th, 6th, 7th round picks and turn them into players? I'll give you an example, right? Oakland has Jordy Nelson. He's got a $4 million roster bonus due at the beginning of the season. Let's put it this way. Jordy Nelson will not be on the Raiders next season, period, the end. So if you're the Bills and you've got a 7th round pick, you throw it to the Raiders for Jordy Nelson, right?
Why not?
Why not? I mean, you got the cap room to do it. Those are the types of moves that I kind of expect them to do with their lower picks this season.
I mean, it's kind of hard to replace the experience that he would give a young quarterback. The guy played with Rodgers. He's got to know something that's going on.
And he's in just one of the worst offenses I've ever seen in Oakland. We could complain about the Bills' offense left, right, and center, but that Oakland offense is just purely putrid. I mean, they are bad. So we might see them kind of address some of their needs by going out and grabbing players with some of that draft capital, right? As far as drops go, I can't say I saw too many drops today. The penalties obviously were the biggest thing. And here's the thing: Gene Sortor at the end of I think it was the end of the 3rd quarter, had mentioned that the refs were notified to tighten the game up. Like, isn't that what the penalties were there to do in the first place? Was to try and tighten the game up? Like what?
There was more. Cinderella has never seen that much laundry in her life. That was ridiculous, all the penalties that were going on. It's like, it's either you're going to let the guys play or you're going to penalize everything and slow the game up. One of those things, you don't want to slow the game up. You want to, but I don't know if it was one of those instances where where the penalties weren't called and things were just getting very chirpy on the field with everybody. But there were 2 drops. Thompson had one. Oh yeah, the one on Thompson was brutal.
Oh,
the Thompson one was brutal.
Yeah, that was a tough one to stomach. That was a real tough one to stomach. Because he's not going to get a lot of opportunities if he can't catch the football. Like, that's just all there is. No. But we've seen the Bills make a very drastic turn with the way these receivers have been rostered, right? You see, they brought in Isaiah McKenzie. They brought in Deontay Thompson, right? They're featuring Robert Foster. So they've gone small. A couple of years ago, Bills had Marquise Goodwin, they had Sammy Watkins. Again, not the biggest group of receivers, but they went thin at that position from a height standpoint. So you're seeing the Bills do the same thing again. The one thing that I will say that I liked was the way that Dable set up the touchdown run with McKenzie. Because he had set that play up in the first drive where they ran bunch formation, right? And McKenzie was on the outside, and they ran that sweep to McKenzie off the bunch on the outside, right? They ran to the weak side. They ran to the side where it was just a tackle or tight end. That was it. And then they ran the same play. Just this time, they didn't put McKenzie in the bunch, right? They ran the exact same play on the other side. I thought it was a great setup, and it was part of what I thought was good play calling at the beginning. But again, you saw that just absolutely fall apart. Game went on, and that was kind of disturbing. I gotta be honest with you, as a fan, and as a fan of Allen, to see how he's progressing, he was decisive, he made decisions quick. When he had to go, he went, which I appreciate, but having your quarterback run 15 times a game is dangerous for the well-being of the franchise.
Yeah, when you have Chris Ivory carrying the ball 3 times, McCoy had it, I think 12, I'm not really sure with the numbers.
But again, you saw McCoy, since he wasn't the back, you saw McCoy
dancing. Yeah,
dance again. And that's something that we praised him for the last game. Like, hey, this guy's he's making decisions, he's hitting the gaps. When he sees the gap, he's going. And unfortunately, we saw McCoy doing the truffle shuffle. That was for you, Chris. That was for you. But we saw McCoy in the backfield trying to hit a home run on every run, and that was something that we didn't see. In the previous game against the Jets, was that he made up his mind and he went.
But you got to remember that touchdown that McKenzie got, and a lot of the motion that they used early was to try to help Allen diagnose whether or not it was in or zone early, and they used that motion, and that was within the script. It was 15. So that touchdown McKenzie ran, they're like, okay, we're going to set him up by running motion and hand it to McCoy. We're going to set up by running motion and Allen's going to throw it. Or Allen doing a naked bootleg to the opposite side that he's motioning to try to get the defense to go.
Right.
So when they motion him again, it just seems like McKenzie was an afterthought. And they're like, okay, we'll just take care of this way. It'll be all right.
The one thing that I do want to point out is that on this roster, yes, you have Josh Allen as your quarterback. Yes, you have Matt Barkley as your quarterback. Derek Anderson's still in the building, right? So you still have Derek Anderson. But you do have to look at the future of the running back position. The Bills are in a very precarious situation because you look at McCoy, Ivory, and Murphy. They're all their contracts are the same length. So we have all 3 of them next season, but after that, they're all free agents. All of them. All the contracts expire for the 2020 year. So is this the year where the Bills go and they take a back in the second round? You look at the type of back that you would need. Yeah, but you look at McCoy's production. Do you really need that? You'd really need. Anybody can do what he's doing for you right now.
30 running back.
That's what I'm saying. Is McCoy
Murphy is
that important?
Murphy is a similar type player to McCoy, but he can't pick up a blitz.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. You got Ivory for another year. I think if not this year, next year. But then next year, everyone's going to know you need a running back. So it's going to be. It might be a little too late at that point. Do not say that.
What?
John Calvin.
What,
Calvin.
trade for Baker? Baker is my boy. I love Baker Mayfield.
He's got a fat head in his room above his bed.
Ski Bag 18. Shady needs to find the hole and run and stop dancing. That's my boy. That's my kid. And yes, that is absolutely right. It's just one. Again, I really think there was a big difference for Shady from a mindset standpoint from last game to this game because he knew he wasn't going to get as many opportunities, and That's it. You know, like it's just he's trying to make something out of nothing.
Chris Stratton.
It's so
I know it's
hard.
frustrating. I know it's frustrating.
Grooming Murphy, I don't think it's really going to happen. He's already 27 years old.
I think it's
a little late for
It's
that.
an idea if. Listen, oh wait, I'll say this: you got Shady, who's 31. You got Murphy. If you think Murphy can be a guy who could take that mantle, be the guy to carry the ball 15 to 20 times a game, and if you don't feel like drafting a running back for another 3 years, if you're trying to build still other pieces of this team with the second or third round picks coming up in the next 2 years, then Murphy could be your guy.
Okay.
I can understand it from that standpoint. So excellent point, Chris.
Let's see, James Parson. I was going to say, how tired of Shady are you? Just run the damn ball, son. Absolutely. John Calvin just seems to love Matt Barkley. I'm not on the Matt Barkley as far as that's concerned. But again, you know, you look today, and did the Bills give up any sacks? I don't think so.
I think
you guys let us know.
I think a couple.
I don't think Allen got sacked.
I think he did.
Either way, whether he did
Is tackle
once,
behind the line counting as a sack?
I mean,
Because he's running it.
Yeah.
And he gets tackled behind the line.
I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude. Like, it's just, the offensive line has been better, right? But the fact is, the receivers simply aren't getting separation downfield. The receivers need help in scheme, right? They need the help from the OC.
Yeah,
and I just don't. I continue to see large gaps where Dable just isn't improving, right? Like, yes, they've won. Great, they've won. But they've won against a team with 3 wins. And how many wins did the Jets have? What's their record?
They lost again today.
Yeah.
So there's, what are they, 3-9?
That's what I mean. So, I mean, you're looking at 2 coaches who their jobs are on the hot seat.
They're on the hot seat,
Yeah, you have Bowles, who's probably going to lose his job at the end
Well, I
of the
heard
season.
Marone was going to get extended through 2019. Before the game today.
Oh, really?
Before the game.
Are you serious?
That's what I am serious.
Why? Why would they ever extend him?
That's a great question. I don't know why. So
My son throwing haymakers at me. I'm 0-2 against him in fantasy this season. Absolutely true.
all right. Once again, if you're sticking with us, we do appreciate it. We do apologize. We don't know what's going on with the feed. It's a little chaotic right now. So
Matt Mallory, I don't know if I'd call Dable the Nathan Peterman of coaching, but I mean, you look at a Dable offense and compare it against a Nathaniel Hackett offense. Outside of the first 15 plays, it wasn't really all that much different, right?
he needs, Dable needs to start throwing out the plays that he ran with Jalen Hurts last year. And giving them to Allen.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can run this. No,
Yeah.
run the NFL right now. You want to protect your quarterback. You don't want him to run around all the time. I understand a couple plays where you want to give the illusion that he may run, so maybe they play more zone than man, because when you turn your back to the quarterback, you can just take off and everything. So, but you need to try to protect this guy. So the fact that he can run just helps you by having teams play more zone against you.
Yeah, but as a young quarterback, he's having trouble dissecting zone as it is.
Well, it's not that he's having trouble. He's got his offensive coordinator is getting out coached by the defensive coordinator of the team, so there's no scheme in place for him to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. When it comes to Allen, I think, there's a lot of things about his progress that are really important to watch and to monitor. However, what are you laughing about?
Oh, Jalen Ramsey just backed off of his quotes about Allen. He says, it doesn't matter what I said about him.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Jalen.
Come on. You can't be running your mouth and doing that. Come on.
I mean, you think about it, the Jacksonville defense didn't play horrible today. They gave up 2 really big plays that hurt them.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and that's what has been the hallmark of the Jags defense, is they've given up big plays at crucial times, and that's what hurts them.
Thank you, Dennis Chapman, for confirming the Bills did give up 0 sacks today. But again, your quarterback ran 13 times, so the pressure was there. The one thing Jacksonville doesn't do that you're going to see a lot of other teams do is they don't spy at all. Right? They didn't spy Allen at all. They were not worried about Allen running the ball. I think that was a mistake because they wanted to bring pressure. So they were using Jack to pressure. They were using their linebacker, Telvin Smith, to try and bring pressure in the pocket. That wasn't the way to beat the Bills today. It was take away Allen's ability to get out of the pocket. I think that's the reason why the Bills won this football game was Jacksonville didn't make the adjustment to say, listen, let's just bring 4. We'll let Allen just sit in the pocket. Let's take the ability from him to escape away. Today. That's why the Bills won this game. It certainly wasn't any assistance from the officials because it was brutal today with penalties. Absolutely 100% brutal. I can't even imagine what that locker room is going to be like going over all those penalties.
Oh my God.
Now, was it because it was the chippiness of the game, or is this really the way the game should have been getting called all season?
No.
What do you think?
No, I think there's a personal animosity that goes on with these two teams, having played each other throughout Jacksonville's existence, quite, and stemming from last year's playoff games. I could just sense that there was some unfinished business by this Buffalo Bills team to exercise some demons today. I think that's, and it probably got chippy a little early. So
yeah, Mike Frary comments. I love how Jalen Ramsey's only interception was called back after all that trash talk. For the record, he pushed a receiver out of bounds to get to the ball. So it's not hard to intercept a ball when you can just push people out of the way. It's not that's not hard to do that.
So wait, now we have the two schools of thought. This is probably gonna be a topic this week.
Okay.
Two schools of thought. Allen ran 13 times because Daboll's play calling was suspect. He had to get out of there. He ran because the O-line was bad, or Daboll initially didn't want him to run that much. 3 called plays of him running.
Yep.
So
there were 2 RPOs that I saw and the QB draw. I mean, those were the 2 designed run plays for Allen,
so
where he was designed to keep the ball. When you give up 0 sacks, that makes your offensive line look good. But when your QB runs 10 times that were not intentional, that tells you that the pressure was there, right? Either that or they really were dropping all those guys back in order to try and cover up. But again, Jacksonville made the mistake of not keeping a hat on Allen the whole game and following him around. That was their mistake. Expect teams, other NFL teams, not to make that mistake. They're not going to miss that going back and watching this game.
You're not going to have the kind of team speed that Jacksonville has,
right?
That you're going to be facing against.
Do you think they thought the speed of the defense would close on him no matter where he went?
Absolutely. I don't know why that run play for Allen on the outside when Telvin Smith was over there. Yeah. He's probably one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL.
He's an animal. I love Telvin Smith.
I don't understand it.
I love Telvin Smith. All right, so let's see here. Just a couple more questions before we get going, because we're going to wrap it up and go record the episodes for this week. Again, anything that you guys want as far as topics, throw them in the comments section of literally any video. You can do it on this one. You can do it anywhere. Doesn't matter, and we'll be happy to talk about it. So let's see here. If I'm John Calvin, if I'm remembering right, McDermott gave glowing reviews of Matt Barkley.
I'd have to watch the tape. Meanwhile, Ben Roethlisberger just threw a 97-yard touchdown to Juju. It's why? Why do we have to watch this nonsense?
I know. I like Juju.
I like Juju, but I don't like the fact that do we have any of these guys? Actually, Foster could have scored from 98 on that pass if they were down there.
Tim Ellington, when Allen runs into you and you can't stop him from getting a first down. Honestly, I thank Ramsey for motivating Allen and bringing out the Cobra. Let's see. Thoughts on Edmonds.
Yeah, Edmonds. You know what? Like I said,
we could cut a video on Edmonds this week if you want, or we can talk about it now, or we can cut.
We can give you a preview of it. I mean, as far as Edmonds goes, is a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people were down on the defense, but I think, Jacksonville's a power run team. That's how they're built, and it's probably going to be one of the only power run teams that they're going to see as far as for the rest of the season, pretty much. So Allen, Edmonds got some great experience today. He got caught up in Washer once in a while, but he's still learning too. We always have high expectations of this defense, and it seems like we have more expectations of Edmonds than we do Allen right now because he's played more and this defense has been successful. But it's just one of those things where he's just going to get improved. He's just going to improve. I think he played all right today.
Yeah.
Just as like the defense as a whole, I don't think they did anything too awful. I don't think he did anything too awful. Milano, Mr. Johnny on the spot again.
I know.
All
over the place.
You can tell why he's a linebacker.
Wherever the ball was, he was there.
You can tell why he's a linebacker.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He tried running that ball back. He almost fell over himself.
Oh yeah. One interesting conversation to kind of wrap up the post game. Should security have just let Shaq Lawson and Leonard Fournette just hammer in the tunnel because they were just screaming and barking at each other?
Well, if you guys are fans of, it's Bill's Mafia, right? Bree88 on Twitter.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He goes, Fournette don't want no smoke in that tunnel from Lawson. I
don't think Fournette is in the same weight class as Shaq Lawson.
No, which is why do you go after a guy when he has a helmet on? Yet he takes the helmet off. Now you just don't want to go near him. It was funny how that was still transpiring down there. I'm surprised no Bills fans jumped into that melee.
Somebody threw a punch at Fournette.
Come on.
Yeah, somebody hit. Yeah, a fan hit Fournette on the sideline. Andrew Krantz asked, should football allow fighting like hockey? Gotta be honest with you, football is so like pro. Let's stop head injuries. I think the absolute last thing they would do is let players voluntarily beat each other in the head and turn the other cheek.
Who's that? Who asked that?
Andrew Krantz.
Andrew Krantz. Here, Andrew. I don't know anything about you. I don't know if you've played or you've ever played any type of football. But go to the bottom of a fumble.
Yeah, you get punched in the head enough.
There's going to be. I've been in there. I'd rather go to prison than go down to the bottom of a pile of a fumble.
Tim Ellington, wait, you're recording at night? Yes, it is dark outside. Unfortunately, we have to record all the content for this week at night. But we have these LED lights that slowly burn our retinas. So, that's the way it is.
Sorry, I can't see. I'll probably hit a pole.
Oh, thanks for that.
You're driving. You're driving this week.
All right, so we're going to wrap up post game. Thank you very much for everybody sticking around.
Once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but the fact that the majority of you still stuck around to listen to the chaos of this game. I mean, when you turn off YouTube or you turn your smartphone off, just enjoy this Bills win. I mean, we're going to go record our episodes for this week, and keep the comments coming. We love answering you guys. We love giving you guys some feedback. We hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So we will definitely see you this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what?
We got our announcement to make as well.
Yeah, we do.
Do you want to tell them?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. So next week we're going to be doing our post-game show live from David Adams Card World in right next to Eastern Hills Mall, sponsored by David Adams. So we're going to get you all those contest details. You can enter daily, which is going to be great. Really, really cool stuff that we're going to be giving away. So again, make sure you stick around for that. But if you want to come on down, we're going to be recording the post-game at about 5. It'll be 5:15, depending on when the game ends.
Yeah.
It's an away game against Miami, so you guys won't be at the. You won't be down at the stadium. So if you want to come on by. We're going to be just recording the post game, just a couple guys chilling in color coordinated hoodies like you see on the frozen picture in front of you. Unintentional, want to point that out. But that's what we're going to be doing. So if you feel like coming down, come on down. We're going to be just kind of chilling, recording the post game with you guys. We'll take questions from whoever's there. We'd love to meet you. And otherwise, we'll see you, at the next post game. And again, if there's anything you want, just let us know, and we will get to you. Have a good one, everybody.
See you.
Later.